Other guest up here this afternoon, a man who went to Chelsea and won things and couldn't stop winning things. Over an 8-year period, I reckon it was 8 major trophies. Gary can correct me if I'm completely wrong, but it was a couple of Premier Leagues, the Champions League and a few other ones as well. Gary Cahill, everyone. And a man who spent his entire career at Tottenham, and he's still involved with the club. It's awesome to have him back in Australia, and he's a man, when you say his name to a Spurs fan, always brings a smile to their face, and that's not always the case with a Spurs fan. They're not always smiling. Please welcome Ledley King. Gentlemen.
The game, it was a very entertaining game for us. First one out, and obviously it's just important at this stage in the season, you know, that you just get back your fitness, your sharpness. Had your changes, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Bosnich?
Yeah, it's been excellent. I've said it all along as well, but I did notice a little bit of apathy this time. Maybe it was a little bit of football fatigue with the local supporters, especially of the two A-League clubs. But I think everyone's seen how important these trips are. I keep underlining, even since when I was younger, the opportunities it gives for the local players to pit their wits and to show their skills. And we've already seen that, especially that goal by that young boy, I think it was Aidan Hammond against Chelsea. That was an excellent goal on Tuesday night. And Sydney did so well. It's a wonderful measure for the local players and also an opportunity for all the fans of what is the biggest sporting league in the world to see their heroes in the flesh as well, and also some old legends.
Yeah, Paddy Kisnorbo said that after the game. Yeah, great. You were involved with that had a bit of extra meaning.
I think they all did. They all did. I think it's one of them fixtures that you look forward to when the fixtures come out. You're definitely looking for, I'd say, Arsenal, Chelsea, probably Boxing Day, New Year's Day, and around that kind of area. So
for different reasons,
yeah,
of course.
For different reasons, of course, yeah. But
I explained to everyone, I know I had players in my team like that. They look for Boxing Day and New Year's Day because they know if they're on several yellow cards, one more will probably give a Boxing Day and New Year's Day off, so they don't have to be around and train.
But actually, I've never had that problem. Yeah, 8 yellow cards in my career, so
Very good.
They're very, very close to that. But yeah, listen, it's always a big game. Unfortunately, Chelsea was always one of our toughest games, especially at their place. So I don't know what the record, how long it's been. Do you know how long it's been? I don't know how long it's been. It's way too long since we won over. So yeah, I'm
sitting there with a big smile on his face.
I'm glad we're at the bridge anyway. So yeah, it should give us a chance. But no, it should be a real fascinating game.
I mean, there was a famous one back in, it was the year, but it was basically the game that gave Leicester the title. Is that one that jumps out to you, Gary, or another one?
Yeah, for me, look no further, it's the Battle of the Bridge, they named it, didn't they? That was a terrific game, and I think, obviously Tottenham being a rivalry, but I just think that game had everything. It's certainly one of the best games that I've been involved in and played in. Goals, tackles, honestly, I had absolutely everything. So yeah, fights as well, yellow cards. All sorts, but it was a fantastic game, very competitive, as you'd imagine, from Chelsea to Tottenham. But great game.
Boz, you're a but he's going to be great for you and a few other players that have come into the club, because no European football means you can fully drill down on what you're trying to do in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think as Mark said, last 2 seasons, especially in the league, have not been acceptable, and it's important that we acted. And we have done that over the summer. We've brought in 6 Premier League proven players, so they're not going to take any time to adjust to the Premier League, which I think is important for us. I think a big statement was bringing in someone like Andy Robertson, who's a culture setter, and I think we needed that. He's someone that's been there, done it at the top end, and I think he's someone that can kind of police the dressing room, and we have a lot of young players that he can lead and kind of direct in the right direction. So. Yeah, we signed really well, and there's a lot of options going into the season. So I know Mark said top 8. I'm thinking that we can do a little bit better than that. Well, I'm hoping that we can do a little bit better.
That's where you should be. That's where you should be.
Yeah, that's right. But it is difficult to make a jump from 17 to 8. But I do believe the squad we're building up, and the way going into this season, there's a lot of unknowns with certain teams. I'm hoping that we hit the ground running and it could be a really good season.
And Gary, the main transfer for Chelsea so far, and I dare say there's a little bit of business to come, but Morgan Rogers, who performed well at the World Cup, he's been awesome for Aston Villa. You saw him right at the start of his career when you were at the end of your career. I mean, what can Chelsea expect with him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a very, very exciting signing first and foremost. And
there were obviously throughout stages of your career where there were potentially opportunities to go elsewhere. How does that evolve? Did it happen by accident that you got to the end of your career, or did you know straight away that no, I don't really feel like going anywhere else?
Yeah, I think I made a decision quite early on when I was captain, at 23, that this was my club that I wanted to go on and take to try and win things with. I remember feeling quite jealous of some of the Chelsea players, the English lads that were winning things, John Terry's, Ashley Cole's, Lampard's, and then Man United players, Liverpool players, and everyone. But they were my competition. That was, I was never going to jump ship and join them. I always said it would mean more to me to win 1 or 2 with my club than go elsewhere and win 5, 6. So that was it. I just saw it as competition, and I always wanted to, as I say, take my club to the top to try and win things. Obviously, I had my injuries, so I stopped training at the age of 26, but played another 5 years, and we finished in the top 4 the last 3 years of my career. So it wasn't too far away. If I'd have been fit, who knows how much more we could have done. But that was my ultimate dream, just to kind of make the club as good as possible.
So that was true, that you just did not train for the back end of your career. You just rock up and play.
Half my career.
Ideal situation, isn't it? That's probably flipped. Full strength for both clubs tomorrow night, as full strength as they can be early in this preparation. Boz, a little thought on what we might see, because it looks like Xabi Alonso and Roberto De Zerbi want to play very much front foot football. That's what they're known for, and that won't change.
Well, installing the way they play it will be a little bit, only a little bit easier for Roberto De Zerbi because he's been there a little bit longer. But installing that, in football, and regardless if it's now or then, I always believe you always need to have a plan B and a plan C, sometimes even a plan D, but players need to be able to recognise that on the pitch and execute it. Because as we know, there's no hydration breaks normally anyway where you can change it yourself. Right?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I don't think for a long time anyway. That's another subject. So the cohesion, and we spoke about this, Ledley and I spoke about this the other night, so did Gary and I on the Tuesday night, of understanding the way that the manager wants to play. Mainly his basic one, his basic plan, his plan A, because variation comes off having a really good structure, right? Not the other way around. So drumming that into the players, where he wants them to be, so you can be a step ahead of the opposition. This is a start towards that. Now, when you're playing against another Premier League side, everyone in the Premier League, trust me, I've never met one that's not, are highly competitive. So no matter what they say, deep down, you don't want to lose these games. You really don't want to lose these games, and they can get a little bit testy. So as much as you want to, ease players into it, get everyone to go and all that, deep down, I can only go, from my personal experience, and we tour it all the time and sometimes come up against, I'll be like, I'm not going to get beat by these. I don't like these. I don't like some of the players, no chance. And when it's Chelsea against Spurs, I think that little line, if things get a little bit heated, will come to the fore of people's minds more than you don't understand.
Absolutely. And Gary, from a Chelsea perspective, getting used to the ideas of Xabi Alonso, I did notice the other night that...
And in terms of tactically, it's not always on the training ground. He'll be having meetings, I'm sure, and he'll be putting his points across in the way he wants to play and what he expects from this squad. And then you should feed that into the games that are obviously coming up. Like I said, they've only had one coming on to the Saturday game, which will be amazing because I think there's going to be a sellout crowd there, which is what the players are used to. And just speaking from experience myself, when I was a player in pre-season, fitness levels never really taper too much. You're obviously working hard in pre-season. It was more the sharpness. It was more being sharp and getting your eye back in. So that's what these games are all about as well. I'm sure there'll be changes and everyone will get plenty of minutes.
And Ledley, on Roberto, you got a little window into what he was after last season, but it was coupled with the fact that they were absolutely hunting anything but a draw or a loss because they had to get away from where they were. Is the template there to build on something and have something Spurs-like in terms of attractiveness?
Yeah, I don't think the manager would have had much time to kind of implement too much of his style when he came in. Obviously, he was under a lot of pressure for to get wins. So the pressure is less so now in this pre-season. But yeah, more training time, more practice time to implement his style. And as Gary said, as Gary said, you know, for the new players integrated into the squad, it's a great time pre-season, as well as the young players. For a lot of them, it's their first pre-season tour, and the manager's first look at them. So it's important. It's very important. So it always is, but I think probably even more so when you have new managers on their first pre-season.
And the last one, you're in a beautiful place, Sydney. The squad, they've worked their socks off through the week, probably doing double sessions. They play the game. They know that on a Saturday night in Sydney, they're not getting on the plane till Sunday. Who's the guy that goes up to the manager and says, Gaffer, can we have 4 hours out of the hotel, please? Is there that designated, you know, the full guy?
I don't think they go to the manager. They'll go to someone else. They'll go to the manager.
Oh, okay.
So that's the way we do it. Yeah.
Conduit. Yeah.
It's usually somebody that knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes with the armband, I think.
Yeah.
It's captain's responsibility. Yeah.
No, they should enjoy themselves. Sydney has a lot to offer. And I'm sure they'll enjoy themselves after tomorrow night's game, which a lot of people are going to enjoy in front of a full house at Accor Stadium. The mains are coming out, so please thank Mark Bosnich, Gary Cahill and Ledley King for sharing some insights today. Cheers guys, see you tomorrow. Enjoy your mains everyone.